our elected officials when I speak with them. I am trying to educate them because they are the ones that the buck stops with. They're the ones that can be charged. They're the ones that can be sued because they make the final decisions. But this is the biggest problem. They think that I'm the boogeyman because I'm a member of the landowners. That's the biggest problem. So get a hold of Beth, tell them to get a hold of Beth, and she will give them the email address. But they have to be a member of the elected municipal officials to get in touch with them. We can't all be inundating these people. Like, these people all have jobs and they're also elected officials. So they're doing double time in southwestern Ontario. Plus they're trying to take on the turbines. So this is why I'm basically saying, you know, this is for municipal councillors only to contact the multi-municipal. Because if we can get this movement going, we can win.
Liz, these turbines now, are they going into mostly non-liberal ridings, or are they being put into liberal ridings as well?
If you're rural, they're going.
Okay, whether it's red or green?
Yep.
So that liberal, proposed liberal, could take a lot of flack and could be a fatal mistake.
They're even putting them in, what's his name? Who's the Minister of Agriculture? Leo?
Yeah. Wind, isn't it?
No.
Joe Leo.
Jeff.
Whatever. Anyways, so his area is now under the barrage from the renewable energy projects, proponents. And as for your public meetings and so on and so forth, under Section 11 of the Green Energy Act, there is supposed to be an entity that is a facilitator. And they are supposed to assist the proponents in setting up the public meetings and explaining to the proponents that they cannot violate federal law. So is the facilitator failing in regards to the public meetings? Because obviously none of you knew about them until they were already signing up people. After they were already signing people up. There's something seriously wrong, but then the facilitator's office can set their own rules. So that's what's going on here, folks. It's been a setup right from the get-go to ensure that you will lose under the environmental review tribunals. Sean Drennan did a charter challenge in regards to the Ministry of the Environment, and I told him right from the very beginning he was going to lose. He did it anyways, trying to stop it. And that was literally hundreds of thousands of dollars that people have donated for Sean to do that. But now Sean is completely behind us because now with what we've been discussing and what we've researched and so on and so forth, there are a lot of options open for the municipalities and for you folks, as long as you get together and get the word out there. That's the big thing. Get the word out there and get organized.
I think the people have to get organized before they make new legislation. Because they can change things.
Yeah.
No question about that. They will look at hard.
And there has to be challenges. Actually, this is the thing. This is why I keep recommending like judicial reviews. Because once the courts rule on it, they can strike down bad legislation. So this is the other angle that we all have to be looking at. The municipalities can do references. And that they can pull up the Green Energy Act, or they can get into the Environmental Protection Act, or any of those, the Electricity Act. They can go through those documents and they can have references done. But we have to get this stuff before the courts, because every time there is a change, or someone comes up with something, the government amends something to remove that.
Yeah, that's right.
So then it has to go to the courts. This is the whole thing. So like I said, you're going to have to get organized, you're going to have to get your municipal councillors involved, and you're going to have to get the word out. That's the long and the short. It's there. It's all in the legislation. But that's the whole thing. And I have been blessed this last 3 weeks, believe it or not, working with a retired planner and a councillor to do this bylaw. Because the guy is smart and he thinks outside the box. And he's a businessman, so he understands. So anyways, it's 25 after. Any more questions?
I just had one question.
Sure.
Do you ever hear about that Agenda 21 with the organizations and that?
Actually, I don't even bother with that.
Well, all.
Because, no, hold on, let me finish here. Because my whole thought process on that entire issue is, and I've discussed this with Americans and even Len Harris,
I'm an American.
if we reestablish our private property rights, it goes away.
Right, but they're taking the rights away from everybody.
Yeah, and it's your responsibility to stand up for your rights.
Right, but what I'm saying, all the stuff that's happening up here, I thought I was getting away from, you know, and this law, these laws are to remove people because the rural areas are too important and they shouldn't be controlled by individuals.
Yeah.
So they want to move everybody into the cities.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And, you know, it's just totally bizarre. I mean, I sort of thought things were different up here.
Well,
They're
we've been
not.
holding up a lot better than the Americans, no offense intended. So, and get all your municipal councilors.
Well, they have a meeting on Monday about this, and I want to try and get other information off you. I want to see what they're doing, you know. I mean, they're trying to come up with an article or whatever saying that they're sort of they're in favor of the windmills, but as long as they're not in Champlain Township.
You see, that's discriminatory. They should just use my bylaw and be done with it.
Well,
But I'm a little biased, okay?
But how can you be in favor of something as long as it's
it's
somebody
not-
else, you know?
Yeah, that's-
I mean, they don't realize, and we're getting a facility in Champlain Township. It's not gonna be a windmill, but it's gonna be some sort of piece of equipment to regulate things in the area. And that's what they're gonna talk about, that at the meeting, as well as this drafting up this resolution.
Well,
And that's at 2:30 in the afternoon, so nobody shows up, you know?
the best thing I ever heard from the Reeve of Jocelyn Township was, Liz, we were going to be passing this really bad bylaw, so I phoned everybody in town and told them to get everybody down to the council meeting that night. So there were 500 people showed up, and they didn't want this bylaw passed. He says it didn't pass because, Liz, have you ever faced a mob before? So, you gotta, if you aren't talking to your municipal councilors, and don't put up with them saying there's nothing we can do. That's just, I think that's drilled into their heads when they go to good roads. I don't know. I really don't know. But I am so sick of hearing that from municipal councilors. There is ample that they can do because they cannot violate the municipal act, and neither can the province. The province can amend the municipal act, but they can't violate it.
And how, can you repeat how they're violating it again? We've got so much information, our heads.
Because they are getting the municipalities to be a security for a third-party entity.
Okay, right. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yay, I'm tired, it's all the way over.